We want to get right to the breaking news we first brought you on Fox 17 News at 5. The ongoing West Nile outbreak that's killed at least one person in our state is now growing across the country, including here in West Michigan. This as the CDC says the nation is experiencing the largest West Nile outbreak it's ever seen. Let's get right to Fox 17's Morgan Bond, who's live at the health department tonight. Morgan.
Offense.
We have another rivalry game such as this one. It is Belding and Greenville. Jason Hutton will be out there tonight, have all that coverage as the Yellow Jackets open their new stadium. But let's end up here with Orchard Lake because they come over and play East Grand Rapids a lot.
Right.
They're not playing East Grand Rapids tonight.
No.
They're facing Muskegon, and Shane thinks this is one of his best teams and one of his best lines he's had.
Maybe the best in Muskegon football history. Now, we're talking 100-plus years. Shane Fairfield in his third year, but he knows his football. They average 270 up front. So
more breaking news. We are just learning that police are connecting not one but two members of the same family to the murder of teenager Amanda Lanke. That's a case we've been following for years now. We broke the story about the second arrest within the hour on Fox17newsonline.com. Let's get right out to Lindsay Kuss now, standing by for us in White Cloud, where she's been working the story all day. Lindsay. Michigan Department of Transportation is holding another meeting tonight to gather input from the public about their long-range plans and goals. The meeting's being held at the Metro Transit Boardroom on North Rose Street in Kalamazoo. It's just getting underway and lasts until 7 o'clock tonight. MDOT is setting transportation goals through the year 2035, and they want the public to be part of it. Right now, there are three priorities in their long-range plan. They include maintaining and preserving the existing transportation system, improving public transit, and possible needs for inner-city rail transportation. Number 4, Canadian music worlds are colliding and becoming the butt of jokes here in the States. After 6 months of dating, that girl right there, pop singer Avril Lavigne, has announced her engagement to, wait for it, Chad Kroeger, the lead singer of Nickelback. Lavigne was previously married to the guitarist from Sum 41 and was recently linked to Brody Jenner. But come on, you cannot fight the power and attraction of Nickelback. Maybe the Lions can invite them to play together in a Canadian supergroup at this year's Thanksgiving game. Republican Congressman Todd Akin continues his damage control after the controversial comments on rape and abortion this past weekend, and he says he hasn't ruled out quitting the race for a Senate seat. On Good Morning America today, the Missouri representative said, quote, "I'm never going to say everything that could possibly happen. I don't know the future." But Akin also continued his stand against what he called the party bosses, GOP higher-ups who were calling for him to step aside in the face of controversy. Akin says he's not staying in the race for ego or personal gain, rather to fulfill the wishes of the Missouri residents who voted for him in the primary. A 16-year-old is dead tonight after an awful car crash in Kent County that involved a car full of teenagers. Tonight, police are saying they were probably going too fast. This is what it looked like around 8:30 this morning on White Creek Avenue Northeast in Solon Township. Police say 16-year-old Wyatt Phillips was behind the wheel. Two other 16-year-olds, Johnny Clausen and Sean Thompson, were riding in the car. Phillips, going into his junior year at Cedar Springs High School, died at the scene. Friends say that Phillips was very involved with Cedar Springs community players. A Facebook page called Remembering Wyatt Phillips has been set up in his memory. Grief counselors were on hand at the high school today and will be there tomorrow as well. In Ottawa County, police in Holland Township have shut down M40 near I-196 because of an accident. You are looking at live pictures of the scene right now. There may be injuries. We will bring you more details on that crash coming up at 6. I'm going to see you again on Fox 17 News at 6, but plug the game of the week on WBBL Radio.
Yes, 107.3 with the coverage tonight. We'll start at 6:30.
All right, we'll see you back here in about an hour or so. But first, we're going to talk more about sports. We've partnered up with our friends at Spectrum Health Medical Group. We do the Medical Moment on Mondays. Well, now we have a Blitz edition of the Medical Moment. And since this is week number 1 of high school football, this is week number 1 for the Blitz Medical Moment. We are talking this week about injury prevention. Take a look. The weather's nice and football is here. And the kids on the field tonight are primed and ready for the season. They've been in camp for weeks and are in shape and ready to go. That's more than we can say for the weekend warriors who are going to watch tonight's highlights, then get inspired to try and relive their youth, only to end up injured.
You get a lot of the parents that come in and say, I was out kicking the ball around with my kid, I was throwing the baseball around, throwing the football around, just running some routes on the weekend. I think I did something to my shoulder, I think I did something to my knee, can you take a look? So yes, that's definitely a large part of the business is those weekend warriors.
Accidents and injuries happen, but you can give yourself a leg up against them by being prepared before you start. And you don't have to do much, just some simple stretching goes a long way.
You want to make sure that you warm up, get your body a little bit warm, and then do some stretching. A lot of the research says stretch after an activity because then your body is a little bit looser and you're not going to injure yourself. But stretching when you're cold may lead to injuries.
Ease into sports no matter what they are. You wouldn't start out trying to run a marathon on day one, would you? And speaking of running, make sure your gear fits, especially shoes.
We try them on in the store and go, these feel kind of good. But then you get out there and you start playing, you start getting blisters, you start getting ankle pain, you start getting leg pain because they're not properly fit. So before you go and play in that sport, go and try them out. Go for a run in those shoes, see how they feel.
Should you or your child get nicked up while playing, Spectrum Health offers a great way to determine your plan of attack, a Saturday morning sports medicine clinic that's free of charge.
We'll be able to take a look at them, do an evaluation, and see where kind of injuries they have. At that time, we can evaluate them and say, well, I think we need some x-ray, I think we need some further imaging. But it's a way to get people into the clinic to get seen. You know, if they're working during the week, they may not be able to get in and see a physician. So this gives an opportunity for those that aren't working on the weekend to be able to come in and get seen and get evaluated and take care of so that they can get to their sport.
If you want to check out that fall sports injury clinic, it runs from tomorrow through October 27th on Saturday mornings. It's at the Spectrum Health Medical Group Sports Medicine offices. That's on Lake Drive, where Lake comes together with East Paris. If you want a link, I put it on fox17online.com. And there's no coincidence, guys, that when we were talking in that story about weekend warriors and getting injured and needing to stretch, that we showed video of me doing the stretching, because sometimes I feel like I am that weekend warrior these days.